What's going on, everybody? And I hope you're enjoying your Sunday afternoon so far. This is NYG Jeffy T85 here, and I have some news coming from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler that's concerning New York Giants defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence, and the fact that him and the New York Giants are working right now on a potential contract extension that could pay Dexter Lawrence well upward of $20 million per season or more, and be in the same range as what DaRon Payne got when he re-signed and got his new deal in the offseason from the Washington Commanders. Now, we all know how Dexter Lawrence did last year. Dexter Lawrence had himself an absolutely terrific season with the New York Football Giants, as last year he played in 16 games overall, where he had 35 solo tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and 7.5 sacks on the season last year for the New York Giants. He also was able to get 25 quarterback hits, and he had 33 assisted tackles with 68 of them combined together. He also had 3 passes defended, and he was named as a second-team All-Pro, and he was named to his first Pro Bowl this past season. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, the Giants have been talking to Lawrence and his reps about a potential deal. Nothing has come together yet, but the defensive tackles market is huge right now because DaRon Payne, another in the NFC East with Washington, they gave him over $22 million per season. Lawrence is going to have at least somewhere close to that, maybe 20 plus million. And you have Jeffrey Simmons in Tennessee, you got Quentin Williams in New York, so defensive tackles is where money is going to be. It's very interesting that they talked about both of these contracts and linked them up together. And this goes on to more to say. The Payne comparison is particularly interesting because he plays for a division rival and just signed a contract a few weeks ago. Payne was also named to his first Pro Bowl this past season. Correlation, both named to their first Pro Bowl. One gets 22 per season, around the same age. Both of them are going to be getting big-time money. Defensive tackle market seems to be at a surplus right now. Dexter Lawrence absolutely 100% deserves the type of money that he's going to get this offseason because of the type of season he had in 2022. The guy, or 2022, he had a great season. He was arguably the best player not only on the New York Football Giants defense, but on the New York Giants as a whole. Dexter Lawrence was absolutely a disruptive force for the Giants in that defensive tackle position, and he is built himself up as a foundational piece for this New York Giants team going into the future. And we all know with the New York Football Giants, and when it comes to the defensive tackle position, this team never really invests in long-term deals with this position. They always usually sign guys. They always usually draft guys at the defensive tackle position, and when their contracts are expiring, they let them go into unrestricted free agency and they let them walk, and then they draft their next big defensive tackle and normally in the second round. Case in point, you had Keith Hamilton, you had Cornelius Griffin, you had Linval Joseph, you had Jonathan Hankins, Barry Cofield, Dalvin Tomlinson, and now you have Dexter Lawrence. Defensive tackles has been a position the Giants have actually done very well at drafting, but this is the first time where the Giants might truly have themselves a dominant pass rusher in the interior of the defensive line, and also a guy that's very good against stopping the run. And he's also a very good 3-tech defensive tackle where you don't have to take him out, even at his size where he's over 330 pounds. You don't have to take him out if you want to put in a NASCAR pass rush type package, because of the fact that Dexter Lawrence is very good in terms of pass rushing. So you can obviously keep him in there, and you can allow him to be able to go over there and rush the passer on a consistent rate, and you don't have to keep taking him in and out of the lineup at a rapid rate instead of just going for constant pass rushers. But do I think he deserves around 20 plus million? You could argue that on a case-in-case scenario because of the fact that he's only had one big-time season. He's had a couple of I've had a couple of good seasons, but he's never had a season like he had this past season, where he was the central figure of this defense. But another thing too, Dexter Lawrence has been a model of health consistently. He's been a guy that has been able to stay healthy his entire career, not dealing with any type of severe long-term injuries. And he's also been a guy that's been able to go out there and play 16 games and also be a disruptive force at that defensive tackle position, while also being able to go out there and be able to stop the run at a consistent rate too. Dexter Lawrence does deserve a new big-time deal. He does deserve to break that defensive tackle trend with the New York Giants of these guys just leaving after their rookie deals expire and the Giants go into the draft and finding their replacement. Dexter Lawrence deserves to be that guy, to be part of this New York Giants team going into the future. And I expect, and just everything you hear from Joe Schoen, Brian Daboll, and Wink Martindale and the entire New York Giants coaching staff and front office, they love what Dexter Lawrence brings to the table. He was named a captain this past season. Like I mentioned, first team Pro Bowler. He was a second team All-Pro. He's a guy that had the most sacks on the team at his position at defensive tackle with 7.5 sacks. He was one of the leaders in tackles on the team. Never missed a game, consistently a disruptive force. You don't normally get defensive tackles that play this well, and you could argue Dexter Lawrence was one of, if not the best defensive tackle in the National Football League this past season. So the Giants have got to make sure that they lock up Dexter Lawrence to a long-term deal, and I think that's exactly what they're working on right now, especially with the fact that free agency is sort of in that lull period. And we're a little bit less than a month away until we get to the NFL draft on April 27th. So the Giants are going to be doing more scouting on draft prospects. But at the same time, you could lower Dexter Lawrence's cap number and keep him on the team long term with a new deal he absolutely 100% deserves. But you guys let me know in the comment section what you think about the news about Dexter Lawrence and the Giants working on a new contract extension, with Dexter Lawrence potentially getting paid over $20 million per season. And if you think that's the right or wrong move, and as always, hit that like button if you have not already, and always give a sub to NYG Jeffy T85, where I'll give you more news, updates, and chatter surrounding the New York Football Giants. And of course, always turn on that bell for the notifications on when the next New York Football Giants video or short will be dropping on the channel, talking about what other news and notes are around the Big Blue football team. Thank you very much, everybody. All of you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take it easy, and let's go New York Football Giants. As always, together blue, everyone.